all the things you said about the COVID vaccine, I'm sure are correct and true. But isn't it also different than the vaccine that they used in the test?
Yes. The vaccine that was produced for the general public, I believe at least when it comes to Pfizer, they used magnetic beads for purification, which was totally different to what they did for the one they gave to us. And they produced it using, I can't remember exactly how they produced it, but they didn't use plasmids and they didn't use, all the different components that were given to us. I have a slide on that somewhere that I could show you about. There were two aspects of the test vaccine that were very different it was both the production, how they produced it, and how they, quote, purified it.
And what's the significance of the differences? Like, did they do it to save
well, there
money?
was they just didn't have the plasmid. They wouldn't have had the lipopolysaccharide with the DNA from the E. coli that was in there that they told would never get past our deltoid muscle and would be disintegrated. Well, lipopolysaccharide actually is a transit protein that can bring everything right through your cells our cells are made of, it's like a lipid on the outside. So that was the whole purpose, was to shuttle this into your cells. Not only that, but the vaccine produced the plasmid part of the vaccine that's injected into you, the messenger RNA, has a substitution for something called uridine. They call it pseudouridine. And pseudouridine was put in there because they didn't want the immune system to destroy the vaccine too quickly. They wanted it to really be able to take hold of your body so you could have a strong response. Well, that's one of the reasons why vaccinated people had such, horrible time with actual coronavirus when it did come. And one of the reasons why you didn't, even maybe you were exposed and you don't. I don't know if you've had an antibody level tested. But again, that's another long history thing, is people who don't get sick while everyone else have been accused of witchcraft and sorcerers in the past, and sometimes hunted down and killed. You know, in the times of smallpox, the groups of people that were into cleanliness, that was a real problem for them.
I did do nasal swabs to see if I had any antibodies. I did do that, and I didn't.
Well, that won't tell you antibodies. That's a PCR. That would be your PCR test or your rapid. Right. Which one did you do? The one that
the rapid
test. Antigen test.
Yeah.
But that's only going to tell you if you've got active in your nose. What you want to know is if your immune system. Again, there's a good use for antibodies sometimes. It's not to see. It's not the end all and be all in terms of your immunity, but it will show that you have had an experience inside of your body with COVID. And
what was bizarre to me was that there was this narrative that you were going to get it no matter what. And that's
why. And this
why,
will stop it from you getting it.
Yeah. Well, this is before the vaccine was even around. There's this talk that there's no way to not get it. Like, if it's around you, it's so contagious, you're going to get it. And that's why I was shocked that I didn't get it when my whole family got it. Like I said, I didn't isolate at all. I did it on purpose.
Yeah.
And I had 2 days in the gym where I was sluggish. And so I was like, I feel kind of tired today, but a weird tired, so I'm just going to go through the motions. I just really light workout, and the next day I felt the same thing, another light workout, let's just take it easy, no need to push it, just got to break a little sweat, never stressed myself. And then the next day I felt great. I felt 100%. Like, I started working out, I was like, oh, I feel good, and then I was fine. And it's like, okay, I guess I didn't get it. And then everyone in my family recovered. And then I went from there to a couple months later, I was doing this gig in Florida. And I was up with my friend John Showman, who's he makes pool cues. Shout out to John, good friend of mine. And we were playing pool till 5 o'clock in the morning. And I had 5 margaritas, and we were having a good old time and laughing a lot. And then that night I was like, oh, I don't feel so good. But it was alcohol and no sleep and playing pool and and big shows and giant arenas and flying on jets and being tired all the time. That's what it was. And then I got sick. But even then, it was a couple days.
How was that? How close was that to the time you just said you felt a little tired in the gym that day?
A few months.
Okay, a few months difference.
Yeah, it was a few months. Because by that time, the vaccine had been out. And this was, I guess, the Delta, which was, everybody was like, this is the bad one. The Delta's the bad one.
You're supposed to be fearful,
Yeah. It was a shocking time for me, because before that, I never would have guessed in a million years that I would be even questioning other vaccines. I would have never guessed that. I would have told you that vaccines are one of the most important inventions in human history, and it saved us from polio. It saved us from smallpox. I would have been that guy ranting off all those statistics. I would have told you that. But then I read your book. I read.
Sorry.
Sorry. I read Robert F. Kennedy's book. I read your book, and I started reading Turtles All the Way Down, which is really interesting because they wrote another book called Turtles All the Way Down, and someone else published it that has almost the identical cover, and that book is a pro-vaccine book.
Nice.
Like, they literally hijack. They're like, what do we do? Oh, this is what we do. We fucking confuse the shit out of people. Make one with the exact same cover. Exact same cover, exact same name.
Wow.
And they made it a pro-vaccine book. It's kind of wild. I mean, it's really kind of ingenious. Like, what a great way to, like, flood the market with bullshit. And the RFK Jr. book was bananas. I mean, people had told me to read it, and my initial
Which one, the Fauci book?
Yes.
Yeah.
My initial thought was, that's that guy that's like that anti-vaccine kook. That's what I thought. And I've apologized to him for that. When I talked to him on the podcast, I said to him, I said, I succumbed, like everybody else did, to the casual narrative. What's the casual narrative? Oh, that RFK guy's a kook, talks weird, got a weird voice.
He's ruining the world's immunity.
Yeah,
well, I had the same thing. Like, when I was first waking up, I had a friend who had unvaccinated kids. They were part of a Steiner school, and they were like mutant freaks to me because they had never been on an antibiotic. They were like bright and happy and interactive and talented. And at one point, one of them was playing with a hammer and nail, and I said to her mother, I was like, you got to be careful because she doesn't have a tetanus vaccine. And someone in the room said, well, Suzanne, what do you know about tetanus? And like in my head, I'm a full-fledged doctor at this point. I thought, I don't know anything about tetanus. And outside I said, I know you don't want to get it, and I know it'll cause lockjaw. And then I started reading about tetanus, and I had to go back and, kind of apologize. And then I did a big video. I have a big video out on tetanus and the actual truth about the tetanus vaccines and actual tetanus, which, that's even harder for most people. Like, most people who don't want to vaccinate their kids, they'll vaccinate for tetanus if they can get a single shot, and second only to polio. Everybody's got their two vaccines, that they're two diseases they're afraid of for their kid, that makes them feel like they're at least doing something.
Well, the polio one always gets thrown in my face.
Yeah.
They say it all the time.
What about polio?
Yeah, and I just go, I don't have the time to do this.
Thank you. Read the book.
Read the book.